everyone, it's Rita. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, again, my name is Rita and I do cruelty-free videos, makeup, beauty, a couple of lifestyle here and there. So if that sounds like something that you would like to enjoy watching, definitely consider subscribing. All you need to do is hit the red button down here. It's completely free and you get to watch all the content that I will be posting. But anyway, if you are a subscriber, welcome back. Today it's going to be my very first video full face of cruelty-free makeup. I recently announced, actually on my previous video before this one, that I was gonna go full cruelty-free on my beauty products and of course skincare. So with that in mind, I thought what better way than filming a good old makeup, just not really tutorial, but just like a get ready with me, something more chill. This is the eye look and the makeup that we came up with. I absolutely love how everything turned out. The eye look, it's just such a comfortable, out of my zone makeup, because if you are familiar with my channel, I don't use a lot of color, but this somehow still feels very me, even though it's very colorful for what I usually go for. Anyway, enough with the chit chat. Let's just get into I already had a lot of cruelty-free makeup. I do realize that I am missing mascaras. I don't have a lot of cruelty-free mascaras and I don't have a lot of eyeliner, so that's something we need to work on. But for now, let's start with the makeup. I am going to use my very loved Too Faced Hangover. I've had this for a very long time. I definitely need to refresh and get a new one, but we still have this one and it still works good. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply this all over my face. As always, my skincare was already applied, but I need always some primer, additional moisture, because my skin is very dry. For foundation, we're gonna go for Flower Beauty. This is the Light Illusion foundation. I've got mine in the shade Soft Sand. So I was surprised to know that Flower is a cruelty-free brand, which makes me very happy because I love this foundation. I honestly haven't explored a lot of her brand, but as this foundation I've loved for a long time, as well as the concealer, which we'll also be using today. So I'm just gonna blend this into my face. I'm using my IT Cosmetics brush. Let's move on to the concealer, and we're gonna be using the same line, same brand of course. This one is from Flower Beauty, and I've got mine in the shade Light Medium. So let's go ahead and apply this with a different brush, but I'm gonna put this all over around my eyes where I do have the white patches, and a little bit around my nose, and just a tiny bit around my mouth. I am interested in picking a couple more things from this brand, so Flower Beauty. If you have any recommendations, definitely let me know in the comments down below. I'm also planning on doing a sort of like shop with me at Walmart and Ulta to see what we can find, drugstore specifically, because I feel like my makeup collection is more higher end than drugstore. So I wanna like, you know, expand my horizons and try new things. So any recommendations from this brand, definitely let me know. Let's move on to powdering my eyes and wherever we apply the concealer. So we're gonna be using the most beautiful powder. This is by Besame Cosmetics. This was from the Marilyn Monroe collection. I do have a more in-depth review on this product and two more lipsticks that I picked from the brand. I'll leave the description box below the link to this. But let's go ahead and apply this. This is going to be a translucent powder. Very, very beautiful. Very finely milled. And I love that it's a compact because I can actually take it with me. And I mean, this packaging is just the most stunning ever. So I'm just applying where I normally powder, which is around the eyes and around the nose and mouth area. Before we move on to the bronzer, I always like to finish up my eyes with some under eye powder. So we're going to be using the Too Faced Turn Up the Lights powder, and I'm going to be using the middle one right here. And I've been using this powder, I don't know, for like a year almost. I bought it whenever it came out last, I believe around January of 2020, and it's such a good one and I really, really love it. Something I've been doing lately to make my face look a little more natural and less makeup-y is in between steps. Like right now that I have all my base done, I'm gonna go ahead and spritz it with some rose water by Mario Badescu. I feel like this, on top of making my makeup look better, it does help for those first powders and foundation that I applied to just last a little bit longer and look better on my face. For my contour, I'm gonna be using the Victoria Beckham Matte Bronzing Brick. I am just obsessed with this powder. I am really happy that I got this, with the exception, of course, that we've already discussed this in my previous video, where I also have a full-on review on this. I will link it below as well. It just doesn't close. But apparently this is a problem that everyone was having. So anyway, let's go ahead and apply a little bit of this on the cheeks so we can get a little more definition. And I'm just gonna tap off the excess because this is very pigmented. I want to go for a different bronzer. I didn't want to use the one in there because I really want to use this one. This is the Tower 28 Bronzino in the shade West Coast. So it is a beautiful bronzer. The only complaint, or my only complaint, maybe I need to use it a little bit more. I don't feel like it has a lot of pigment. Like for the shade that I got, I feel like it's a little light for my complexion. But anyway, I'm just gonna use it where I basically just contoured, but just applying a bit more liberal with this bigger brush. This one is my beloved e.l.f. stipple brush. And I'm gonna apply a little bit extra, and then we're gonna go here on my cheeks and on the center of my face. Although this is more on the subtle side, I still really love the outcome. I feel like it looks very kind of like, not wet, but almost like highlighty with that finish. It's just very stunning. And for highlight, I do want to go for something, again, more wet, but I'm gonna go for a liquid one. So this one is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I've got mine in the shade 4 medium. So I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this. Sometimes I like to use this as a base, sort of like a primer, or I mix it with my foundation. Today I just wanted to use it as a highlight, which actually it's not something I do as often. So I'm just gonna use my sponge. This one is by Real Techniques. And I'm just going to tap this on the top of my cheeks, and then where the normal places that I would highlight. I'm gonna skip blush for now because I want to do my eyes first, because I want to know kind of like what I want to do once I get into the palette, and then at the very end I'll do my blush. Okay, so disclaimer, do not kill me because this is not available anymore, and also it's kind of old. And I'm talking about Too Faced, the semi-sweet chocolate bar. This is not available anymore, you cannot find it. But I don't know, I just wanted something blue because my shirt has some blue on it. I barely have any blue, so I decided this would be a good time to pick this one out of the drawers. I do spray alcohol on my palettes from time to time. Actually, I would do that probably every like 4 or 5 months, especially on my older palettes. I am very conscious of that. And powders can last you a very long time if you take care of them. Let's just get my brushes out here. I'm going to go for the lighter shade. So I love this lighter shade. This is called Coconut Cream. And I'm just going to apply this all over my lids. And now I'm just gonna use Butter Pecan, which is the one on the very corner, and do the exact same thing. I'm just gonna apply this all over my lid. This is such a beautiful shade, and I'm also gonna use the same shade to apply on my inner corner. And I think I went a little over the top, but that's okay. We're gonna go with a Makeup Admire brush on that peanut butter shade, and I'm just going to run this all over my crease just to define it just a little bit more. I honestly don't remember how well this blue eyeshadow applies. So we're gonna go for the shade Blue Swirl, and I'm gonna use the first brush that we're using for the other shades, and I'm just going to start tapping this on the kind of like outer V of my eye just a little bit, and I'm gonna bring this to my crease, but I'm going to blend this just touching my crease. I'm not gonna go too in. And with the same shade, I'm just gonna go all over my lid. I'm gonna apply this as my lid shade. I mean, how pretty is this shade? Oh my goodness, such a pretty palette. I'm gonna go back to the shade Peanut Butter. in the first second brush we used, and I'm just going to go ahead and blend these two shades together on the crease to make sure we don't have any kind of like weird lines right there. I kind of forgot that I was not filming, and I went on, of course, and finished this eye. And the other thing that I did was only add that same blue shade with the same brush on my lower lashes, just to smoke out the look a bit more. And now I'm just going to change a brush with the Butter Pecan shade, so the lighter shade here, the more kind of like vanilla-y with some shimmer. I'm going to just apply a bit more on my inner corners and bring it in just a tiny bit onto my eye. So this one right here, I might mix it with this one, which is just called Hot Fudge. I think I'm gonna mix those two together to do a little bit of a wing line, or maybe just line my eyes. I haven't decided just yet. So let's go ahead and mix those two together. And I'm going to just bring a bit more definition to the eyes with this. So I think we're done with the eyes. I'm gonna move on with mascara. I'm gonna go for the Marc Jacobs At Lashed. I'm just going to coat my lashes with lots of this mascara. It's time to move on with brows, and I'm gonna be using two Anastasia products. For first application, I'm going to actually do them off camera because it takes me a very long time. So I'm going to be using the Brow Freeze by ABH. I've been loving this product. And then for actual color, I'm going to be using also by Anastasia, the Deep Brow Pomade. This one is in the shade Ebony, which I believe is the darker shade. So I'm going to go ahead and move on with the brows, and then I'll be back to complete this look with some blush and a lipstick. I'm glad I waited for the very end to do my blush, just because I kind of had the idea that I wanted to use that blue shade. So because I went on with that blue shade, I feel like my cheeks had to be a little more toned down, at least for this look and for what I like to go for. So for blush, I'm gonna go for the shade Nearly Neutral. This one is by Rare Beauty. I cannot get over how adorable this packaging is for this collection. So I'm just going to apply this on the cheeks, and I'm using a kind of like semi-kabuki brush. So I'm just gonna go ahead and smile and apply these on my cheeks, kind of like going up on this area. Beautiful, beautiful shade, and I feel like that's gonna complement so good this eye look. Kind of like more smoky. So let's go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Finish up the look, I'm gonna go for Wedding Bells by Charlotte Tilbury. This one is, she redid, or she brought back this same lipstick, I believe not so long ago, but this collection is from last year, probably around like March or something they came out. I also have a review on this collection. I'll also link it down below. But that's what the lipstick looks like. I wanted something more nude, but with still some pink on it. So I feel like this is kind of like the perfect nude pink, because I was thinking on another one, but I felt like that one was more nude peach. So this one is more of what I needed. So let's go ahead and apply on the lips. Okay, so we are all done. I really love how everything came together. This eye look, oh my goodness, I am so obsessed with it. I am not someone, you can probably tell if you've been subscribed to me for a while, that I'm not someone to go for color that often, but this one is just such a beautiful, even though it's subtle, I would think, like, especially for me, because I never wear color, I feel like this is going to be like a more subtle way of going for like a colored, even though for some people this might be a little too much, even for me honestly, but somehow this shade is just a perfect blue. I feel like it complements so good this lipstick and this blush. It's just such a beautiful look. I am in love with it. I'm definitely gonna be doing it a little bit more whenever I'm in the mood for color. Which, by the way, I did place an order from ColourPop. They were having, by the time this video is up, I don't think they'll have it anymore, but this weekend where I'm filming this, ColourPop has had a sale for 30% off, so I did pick up a couple of eyeshadow palettes with that kind of like color in mind, because lately I feel like I need a little bit more color in my life, but to me, color is always gonna be more subtle ways. So anyway, I did pick up, I believe 3 eyeshadow palettes, 1 neutral and 2 a bit more not really colorful, but have more color in them than normal for my use of makeup. But anyway, I will of course be filming with a couple of those palettes once I receive the package, hopefully next week. But anyway, that's gonna be it for today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, my very first ever full face of cruelty-free makeup. Let me know in the comments down below what products I should be picking, especially from the drugstore, because again, I will be filming soon a Walmart, a kind of like Walmart shop with me, and then an Ulta one. Anyway, all your recommendations would be very, very welcomed. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!